Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake, and what we're going to make is a traditional chocolate half-sheet cake. If you're looking for a particular cake for a church or somebody's birthday or some type of celebration, this makes a great chocolate cake. If you have a 12 by 18 pan, that will make just a perfect size cake for you. So let's get started. Let's start with the dry ingredients. We're going to be using 4 cups of all-purpose flour, which I have in this bowl. You're going to put 1 1/3 cup of unsweetened baking cocoa. That was 1 1/3 cups. You're also going to be putting in 2 teaspoons of baking powder. That was 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons of baking soda. And 1 teaspoon of salt. And then I'm just going to stir it all together. Spend a few minutes just to make sure that it's combined. So just stir it all up till it looks like it's pretty well mixed. And then we're going to just set that aside. I'm just going to give it just a little bit more of a stir here. That way everything comes out much better that way. Okay. All right, and we'll set that aside for the moment. Now we're going to start creaming butter. I went ahead and I cut it up into small pieces for the butter, and you're going to be needing 3 sticks of butter. It's been at room temperature, so I'm going to put that in my mixing bowl. This particular recipe, because it is so large, you really do need to use your stand-up mixer. I'm going to just start breaking up and creaming that butter. So I'm going to raise my speed just a little bit. Okay, the next thing that we're going to be putting in is granulated sugar. And you're going to need 3 1/2 cups. And I'm just going to pour a little at a time with the butter. And you want to beat it till it becomes quite smooth and quite creamy. I'm going to raise my speed a little bit due to the video to move it along, while I'm continually putting in the sugar. And that was 3 1/2 cups. There we go, that's all in. And then I'm going to raise my speed just a little bit. To bring it all together. Okay. The next thing that we're going to be putting in is vanilla, and you're going to need 4 teaspoons of vanilla. So you'll want to beat that in thoroughly. I'm going to raise my speed. Okay. The next thing that you're going to need is 4 eggs, and I've had them at room temperature, and I'm going to just beat 1 at a time. And once I get that combined, I'll add the second one. All right, there's the second. And the third. And the 4th. And again, that was 4 eggs. And then I'm going to raise my speed a little bit just to make sure that everything is coming together quite nicely. It's very creamy. creamy and very smooth. Okay. I want to clean the sides of my mixing bowl and make sure that I've gotten to the bottom. I'm going to beat it just for a couple more seconds, and then I'd like to show you what that looks like. Okay. And it will look like this. Nice buttery mixture. Smells so good. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to combine the dry ingredients with the wet, and you're going to be also needing 2 cups of water. And that's, you know, cold water. It's probably lukewarm right now, or that's been sitting in the bowl, but I just took it from the faucet, and that's 2 cups. And I'm going to use a cup here just so I can put in a little at a time, and then a little bit of water, and then just keep alternating it at about medium speed. You know when it looks like it needs some water. And then I just keep putting in the dry. And then a little bit of water. Till it all goes in. Put the rest of the dry mixture in, and the rest of the water. There we go. And now it's just a matter of beating it till it all comes together. I want to clean the sides again of my bowl and reach down with my spatula a little bit to make sure I'm getting the bottom, because this is a pretty large mixture of batter. Okay. And I'm going to raise my speed just a little bit. And, you know, I would go ahead and spend, 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, maybe even a little more on blending this and beating this together. I want to move it along because of the video. On your pan, I like to use a solid shortening, and then I dust mine with flour. If you want to use parchment paper or whatever, however you like to prepare your sheet pans, go right ahead. That's how I like to do mine. I'm going to raise my speed just for a few seconds here. Take my paddle out of here, get the excess off. Okay. Alrighty, and we'll set that aside. Okay, there we go, and we'll push that mixer out of the way. Now again, I'm just going to make sure to get to the sides and check the bottom of my bowl to make sure that everything's combined. You can also, if you still think it needs a little bit more, then put it back in, put your paddle back in and beat a little more, or just go ahead and, keep beating it with your hands, with your spatula rather, I should say. Okay, I wanted to just make sure because I wanted to move this along and it just looks like it needed a little bit more beating. Okay, and then you'll get this beautiful, shiny, smooth, satiny batter. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's really pretty, and it smells terrific. And then just with my spatula here, we're going to pour that all into my baking pan. And I want to clean this out as best as I can. And then do make sure that you want level sides. Get right to the edges of your pan. Even it out. You don't want high and low spots. So do your best with that. Get right to those edges. And let me get a little bit more out of my bowl here. Hate to waste any of it. And I'll take the excess off here with a knife. There we go. And then I'm just going to smooth out the top just a little bit. Make sure that it's even. You don't want one spot being high and the other one being low. Okay. Now, you're going to bake this cake. Oh, and I also almost forgot, just tap it a little bit so you can get any air bubbles out of it before it goes into the oven. So just tap it on your table or countertop, or tap the bottom, whatever you want to do to get those air bubbles out. Now, you're going to bake this at 325 degrees. So it's going to be a little bit of a lower temperature probably than you're used to for cakes, and it's going to take you anywhere from 45 to 50 minutes at 325 to bake up. I actually start checking mine around 40 minutes or so because I always like to say all our ovens set up so differently. So once it comes out though, let it put it on a cooling rack and let it sit in its pan for 15 or 20 minutes, maybe even a little longer before you take it out and place it on your cardboard square or your dish or whatever that you're using, that type of thing. Again, it's at 325. I want to rinse my hands real quick here because I'd like to show you what one looks like when it is baked up, and this is how it'll come out. It just comes out a beautiful, rich, medium brown cake. When it's done and baked properly, it'll start to pull away from the sides. And then go ahead with a cake tester or a toothpick or anything to check to see that it's done, of course, when your cake tester comes out clean. You can also touch the top of it, and when it springs back nicely for you, you'll know that it's baked properly. So there you have it, a chocolate half sheet cake used for any occasion really. It turns out that it bakes up just beautifully to a very moist, tender flake. It's not a real heavy, dense cake. And I think you might like this one. If you need to make this large of a cake, give this one a try. And if you like it, leave a comment because I'd like to hear from you. And as always, thanks for watching Diane Lovetobake. And please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you soon.